New World just dropped an announcement for a new expansion, and what we're going to cover in this video is why this sucks, why this is terrible for the game, it's going to kill the game. I'm going to remind you every mistake that Amazon has ever made with their games, and why you should never play any Amazon-backed game ever, especially New World. I'm going to tell you all of the bugs and glitches that are still currently in this game that completely kill it, and why you should not feel hype for this paid expansion, by the way. And also, I'm going to cover the astroturfing and all of the other bad stuff that New World and Amazon has done. Let's get into it. First off, let's talk about the price, and this is the weirdest business decision ever, because they're giving you an expansion for $30, and they're raising the base price of the game. It's like $40. Bro, this game did not do well when they did mini trials for free to play. There was many weekends and many times where New World went free to play, and they paid and shilled for advertising all over the internet, and the player base numbers did not move. Let's show the player base numbers before we even continue. Just to remind you how dead New World truly is. It is a Wednesday, it is after work, people are out of school, there's only 10,881 people. It peaked today at 13,900. Now you may be thinking, oh, that's not a dead game, 13,000 people? That's good. Now, I want to remind you, for one, that there are at least 20 to 30% of this population is bots. This number is not human players, but it gets even worse. Let me show you the real data. If you search per players per server, check this out. The most populated server is not even, well, it's at half capacity. And you're like, oh, well, that just means the servers are big. No, no, no. This only has 1,200 players on the server. Again, 20 to 30% of those players are bots running around gathering. So this number of real players is actually below 1,000, which is terrible. It's awful, awful, awful. But look at this. There's 3 servers with a player count of over 1,000. After that, 900 people, that's a dead server, that's a dead server. Anything 600 below is basically unplayable. It's a ghost town. I played New World from the alphas to the betas to at least 2 years into its lifespan. And oh man, once a server drops down to about 600 players, it's a ghost town. You pretty much have entire zones to yourself, because players, what they do, what New World is when you play New World, you basically, it's a co-op game. It becomes a co-op game in the late game. You make a niche of friends, you have like a 5 or 10 man pal of friends that you play with, and that's essentially it. If you're a solo player, if you aren't in one of the big guilds that controls territories, the fun you can have is very limited in this game, and your in-game activities are basically done. You don't get invited to wars, you don't get invited to faction defense, you don't get invited to anything if you aren't in some sort of clique or niche in this game, and you cannot upgrade your gear if you don't do the group content. There is no alternative for gear upgrades except for doing 5-man dungeons. More on that later, though. And for people that are still doubtful that this number is high or low, bro, there are Roblox lobbies with more real players in their game than this. This is not even the numbers that World of Warcraft private servers reach. All right, like this is a baby amount of players for a game that's going to release a paid expansion, for a game that still failed to go free to play because they're greedy or something. But what do you even get with the expansion? You get one zone that you used to be able to go to, but you can't anymore. That's redone a little bit. You get a weapon, you get a level increase, and a gear score increase. That means they are raising the bar. That means all of your hard work and all of your leveling and all of your grinding and all of your crafting is about to become null and void. They do not respect your time. They do not care about how much effort you've put into your character, because now it's basically like a full-blown expansion. You level up more, you get higher gear score, just regular drops. And so all the crafting you did, all those dungeons you did, all those raids you did, completely null and void. It just invalidated the last 2 years of effort you've put into this game. It's crazy. So for those that don't know what First Light is, First Light was a starter city. It was one of the cooler and more well-done starter cities, in my opinion, especially in the betas. I'm not going to talk about alphas because they don't like that. But essentially, First Light was the first town that they made. And but no one ever went there because it was like in the bottom kind of right of the map. It was one of the less efficient starter zones to be in, so you just re-rolled your character if you got First Light. I think later on they made it where you can't go to First Light as a new character. Again, they changed a lot of crap, but now they just took First Light and then they've corrupted it, and so the original First Light, it's gone. It only lives in memory in YouTube videos. Thankfully, I have over 200 on my channel for this game that I have cataloged, but they just took a zone they've already made, and then now they're making you pay to get back into it. It's so stupid. So for the past 3 years, people have been wanting mounts. I mean, MMORPGs without mounts, I could dig it. I'm okay with running around the world, but then again, I speed glitch. I don't need a mount. I could run 1,000,000 miles per hour, and you can speed glitch too. They never fixed it. They're never going to fix it. It's hard-coded into the engine. It's unfixable. But, for everyone else that doesn't want to cheat or exploit, you got mounts, except now you have to pay $30 real-life dollars for mounts, and I don't know how much faster this will make you, or if you can fight on your mount and stuff like that, but you're paying real money for a mild convenience. Now, this is the biggest kick in the teeth for everyone that still plays your freaking game. This is the nail in the coffin. New World has been dead, but they dug it up, and then they desecrated its corpse with this. New progression. You can level now to 65. Yay! Level 65 and gear score to 700. So instead of being gear score 625, like if you're right now in New World, if you're max level and your gear score is 625 or 630, I forget the exact number, you're a big boy. You're an absolute raider, Chad. You're one of the top lads on the server. You are feared in the game. It might be 650 now. I don't remember what the gear score cap currently is. It's definitely under 700. But now, guess what? You level up to 65, you get your gear score 700 with the new raids and the new crafting and blah, 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 and you run your, corrupted freaking umbral dungeons. You do all that stuff for months and months and months on end, and you slowly push that number to 700, and hey, you got a little bit more damage, you got a little bit more HP, and you've got a whole lot more elitism with the remaining guilds and companies. That's what guilds are in this game. They're called companies. And the remaining player base, if you're not already their best friends, you're even more pushed away. This hurts everyone but the few people that already have groups of friends to play with. This kills the game. Here's the thing, too. The people that know life this game playing 12 freaking hours a day, all of their hard work is about to just get thrown in the trash. Artifacts. Oh, yeah, legendary gear? Who gives a shit? Throw it in the trash. Now it's artifact quality gear. Sorry, everyone that spent, I don't know, like, what is it, 6 or 7 equipment slots, and they paid the gold cap, 500,000 per item, to get the best in slot gear. All of that just went to waste, because now there's artifact. Oops, looks like you gotta start the grind over, looks like you gotta keep playing the game. Next up is the flail weapon. Now, I want to say in the past, 3 years, there's only been a few weapon unlocks. The blunderbuss, the void gauntlet, and the pistol, and now it's the flail, which it was originally in the game files, it was the club, so they've just taken the club and gave it a chain, and there you go. Who knows, maybe they're still going to release the club one day, the dagger, the angry earth staff, we'll see, but this is taking way too damn long for you to release new weapons. You should be releasing 3 to 4 to 5 new weapons a year. There's a reason why the player base in this game died. And the rest of these are super lazy. Alright, Elysian Wilds is just First Light reskinned. Savage Divide, it's just the mammoth-looking boss creature you've seen in the trailer. And then Primal Fury, wow, it's an inner beast attack, that heart thing that they introduced not too long ago, which is an unarmed light and heavy attack on enemies. Whoop-de-doo! And none of this stuff is for solo players. Season Pass, who cares? No one buys your skins. The skins are bugged most of the time for months after they release. What is this? Influence races. Wow, you got towers and stuff. Yeah, we've already got that in the game. It was the strongholds. And basically the same clan every single day controls every single stronghold until you merge servers, and then that clan, all of their hard work and all the money they spent capturing the entire server dies because you declared the server that they come from wasn't the home server, and so the people that have the home server either have to fight to defend from the new clans that invaded their land, or, well, most of the time they just quit because they feel neglected. That's happened, I don't know, 6 or 7 times now on every server merge. Now, this one makes no sense. Eden Grove and Great Cleave getting an overhaul based on player feedback? Excuse me, but those are two of the most efficient XP per hour quest zones in the game. So you're nerfing it. You're nerfing leveling even more. That's so funny. That's so funny. Also, this is a huge kick in the teeth for crafters. Ward Bane resilience and expertise removal. That's so stupid. There are people that spent the last 2 years getting gear sets to be bested slot for all 4 of these, and you're just taking them out of the game. You're just like, nah, you know what? You had your fun. We're just gonna remove them from the game, and we're not gonna compensate the players that wasted hundreds of thousands of hours of their time crafting this stuff to make their characters better at the game. Nah, screw you. And then these things are already in the game. The Night Veil Hollow, the Turkey Terror, which is so stupid. The first time they released Turkey Terror, it was after Thanksgiving because they were just late. I guess they didn't make it in time, or they forgot to put the patch out before the holidays, before they closed up the offices. And look at this shit. Fucking, can I purchase the expansion without owning the base game? That you have to pay $70 now. If you don't pay $70, you're not playing the full game. Sorry. If the premium reward track is a separate purchase, sorry. Once again, no, we're not gonna bundle it. We're not gonna give you a deal. We're not gonna make you feel like you can get more for your money. Absolutely not. This is 2023. What do you expect? And then this is a question here. How will it affect if I play with people that don't own the expansion? And basically, you can't zone into the new area if you don't have it. You can't use the flail. You can't get the mounts or the artifact gear. So basically, pay us money if you want to upgrade your gear and move faster around the world. Oh, look at this. This is so funny. All right, so currently the in-game grind is mutated dungeons, all right? This is how you farm the Umbrals, all right? And they've revamped it where you will need to purchase the expansion and max out your character to level mutated expeditions. So let's say you just now hit 60 and you just got the gear to be able to start doing this. Too bad, man. You gotta pay up. Pay up for a game content that you used to have access to that you will no longer have access to. Oh, man. Also, I'm not going to bother Googling to see if they increased the system requirements to play this game, but I do want to just remind you that this is one of the games, back when it came out, that was destroying 3080s. If you played this game with uncapped frame rate, this thing would kill... No, it was 3090s. It would take your NVIDIA GTX 3090 graphics card, and then it would overpower it or make it the electricity be too high, and it would just fizzle out and destroy your graphics card. I want to remind you that this game did that, and yes, Diablo 4's cutscenes in alpha also did that. But at least Blizzard gave those people new graphics cards. Amazon didn't do anything. Amazon didn't, send out an apology or anything. They just they try to sweep it up. They deleted all the forum posts, all the Reddit posts. They try to get tweets taken down and all that kind of fun stuff. I'm just reminding you that, this game killed people's computers at one point. So let's start talking about all the bad stuff. And we'll start with their Twitter account. And I just want to mention that Amazon and New World are both extremely, extremely, extremely into astroturfing. Astroturfing is when you pay a bunch of people from MTurk, which is a Amazon subsidiary that pays people pennies to do basic tasks online. And what they do is they pay people to drum up hype and make false Reddit posts. And there's a whole lot of that. You can Google like New World AstroTurf, Amazon Games AstroTurf, and find out more about that. But essentially, first things first is they've pretty much AstroTurf the comment section here on the Twitter. 84,000 views, 202 comments. If you scroll through and you look at the amount of views that they get per post, it is not proportionate to the comments that they get on Twitter at all. And so why don't we dive into that and see who are the shills, what are they shilling, why are they shilling it, and no, Amazon Games, shut up. Okay, so let's see. Core Bry here. Is it time to finally play New World? Well, who is he? Well, it looks like he is basically an up-and-coming channel, and he's got a YouTube, and let's see, his YouTube stats, 500 subs. Okay, yeah, so literal who. And he's the most updated or first viewed comment in the chain. That's a little sus. Next in the chain is probably the only guy that still streams this game, Eagle Garrett. He's got an okay following. It looks like he's doing all right on his Twitch. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a Twitch guy. I'm not too good. YouTube, not so hot. 50K views in the last 30 days. Sorry, Eagle Garnet. Here we go. Our first big shill, Matthew DC. Let's check Matthew DC out here. And he's a crypto shill. All right, Mr. Fruit, another big shill. Let's see. How much do you think they paid Mr. Fruit to talk about this one? Mr. Fruit's a pretty big boy. 2 million subscribers. Oh, but his channel is only getting 1.8 million views a month. That's pretty tiny for the amount of subs he has. For reference, I get nearly 1 million. Right now, I'm about 890,000. So he's about double my size, technically, right? Now, if you search through this guy's videos, you'll notice that he's only ever played New World once, some type New World. So this is a guy that he made one New World video, 78,000 views a year ago. He's being paid. He's being paid for that tweet. And then if you dig through Twitter, he tweets one time in November 2022 about getting ready for New World. So he's not really interested in the game. Then you have Ginger Prime. Now, Ginger Prime has always dick-road this game, and recently, Ginger Prime's mini channels, you know, they add up to an okay amount of monthly views, but he's been covering, what is it, the new Starfield game, and he's getting 1 million monthly views, so he's freaking killing it right now. I hope that Ginger Prime doesn't waste his time with New World. I hope that Ginger Prime continues to make Starfield videos, because it's growing his channel at an amazing rate, way beyond mine, and I love to see it, but he's always dick road New World. I don't know why. It's really weird, but that's just what he does. So the first shill here is Heartbreaker, and this guy is copy-pasting how MMOs typically have paid expansions, some of which are fully priced, and he's been posting this constantly as, like he's probably replied 20 or 30 times in this Twitter thread about it, so I think he's one of the shills. And who is that? It's this guy with 3.9k subs, 7,000 views. He's dressed it up like he's some sort of important esport guy. Bro, I was in esports, never seen you before, don't know you. And then D-Fish and Swedish Fish, these guys have like 500 Twitch followers, it's whatever. And then you have Dana. I don't know why Dana dick rides this game too. He's been a big dick rider for New World. Only keeps it positive. I hate to see it, but it would be nice to get a real authentic opinion for once in a while, instead of the fake smiles and the happy-go-luckiness. I mean, come on, New World has shit on creators so much. I want to talk about that in a bit. And then the rest of the tweets are actual true things. You have to really scroll down. Like, look at my scroll bar. You have to scroll all the way down to find the real truth. Like, good luck getting players back with this move. You can just shut the servers down. Now, laughable. Including the story and discover, you know, the first chapter, $29.99, base game for and the expansion, $69.99. Bro, we're not paying $70 for a game that has 600 people on a server. Then there's that Heartbreaker guy, that fake esport dude. Here he is once again. And then here's some truth from this person. Well played. Players can't enjoy the base game and they need to buy the expansion to go into gear. Great. I guess I'll just move on to a different MMORPG. That Empty Burial says, nice, removing a zone from the game to sell me the zone again. Didn't think that predatory management comes that fast. That's disappointing instead of giving us a new zone. Like, here we go. The Pepe, or the friend here, says, very nice trailer and update, but there's still a critical problem with the game, which you have to fix. Server population. I don't want to sit for 50 minutes with Group Finder to get into an expedition and cross-server Group Finder stuff, and then we good. Like, this is stuff that's been out since, like, the early 2000s. This person's still concerned about PvP in a dead game. $30 to go from 625 gear score to 700. Yeah, it's over for PvPers that don't buy the expansion. Now is the part of the video I want to cover all the stupid mistakes and all the dumb stuff Amazon has done. So all Amazon games, this includes like Lost Ark and stuff, all of them have just let bots run wild. Like, bots ran completely over Lost Ark and killed the game. Bots still to this day run all over New World, killing the game, killing the servers, killing the economy, and there's actually the audacity of people out there that say, but I don't want to farm raw materials, the bots are good for me, and it's like, one of the reasons a lot of us play these MMORPGs is so that, like, 4 in the morning, we're bored as shit, we want to go chop down some trees, and sell the trees, and make money to buy stuff so that we don't have to craft the stuff ourselves. That's fair, that's commerce, that's economy, that's why we play these games, and so when bots are just doing all of the manual labor for us, then we don't get to make money. We have to just dick ride a guild and then join them to make money. And I don't want to do that. I just want to chop trees and make a little bit of cash. But when trees are, you know, 1 penny or whatever, there's no point because bots drove down all the prices. It's also unfair that a bot can play 24/7, 365, and at my fullest, I can play 19 hours a day as a human being before I'm required to sleep and eat and take shits and, you know, all that kind of stuff, and maybe do something else than burn out my eyeballs, right? Next up is the bugs. There are speed glitches. There are dupe bugs still in this game today. There's a glitch where you can no-clip through walls. There's a glitch where you can fly hack. Now, you can't fly up and down unless you run up and down a slant, but you can fly in this game with a very basic glitch that involves going to a house with certain furnitures and using them. And no, I'm not going to elaborate. I've already sent all of this stuff to Amazon years ago, and I have for many, many months at a time, and they go unviewed. Like, I will send them a video link, a private video link, showing off this stuff, and then they never look at it. They never, ever, ever check it. And I've sent emails, I've made phone calls, it does not matter. They don't give a shit. They don't want to fix their game. They can't be asked to fix their game. They do not care. These glitches still work, and they can be combined. I can combine a speed hack with a no clip with well, it's not a hack, it's a bug. Speed glitch, no clip glitch, fly glitch. Guess what? I can fly around the world at Mach 5 looting chests to my whim. And no one can stop me. I'm also invisible when I do the no-clip glitch, meaning I can just run around with a musket and gank people if their PvP is turned on. I can farm mobs, and they can't hit me back because I can shoot them through walls, but they can't hit me through walls, and they don't de-aggro and bug out. They just stand there until I just destroy them. So I could solo open-world raid bosses if I want to. I'm not joking. But more on the bugs. There are so many things in this game that you can craft that say they are a legendary item, and they have the lists of items. And the way crafting in this game works is when you see something you can craft in the crafting menu and you craft it, that's what you get. But when you craft these specific legendaries, they come out as epic. And they don't come out as legendary, and they're pretty hard to craft. You know, you're gonna basically waste a weekend to be able to craft one of these bad boys. And so what happens is if you put in a ticket, here's the thing with tickets. If you put in a support ticket for any Amazon game, you are never, ever, ever getting a human response. I have put in over 1,000 tickets to Amazon in the last 3 years, and only one time ever did I get a human response, a real person. That was it. And it wasn't even, they did their response, but then they copy-pasted the wrong thing and sent it anyway, right? When I'm sitting in, a ticket about a crafting bug, and then they replied to me about Amazon movies and Amazon, products and stuff, I don't use Amazon. I'm one of those weirdos. I'm a minimalist, right? I don't buy things off Amazon. I don't shop at, Amazon.com or anything. Why are they sending me this stuff? I don't have an Amazon account where shopping happens. The only thing my account is used for was to play the game. But they just copy-pasted the wrong... And this happened a lot of times in tickets. They would copy-paste things about, Amazon, products and stuff. And it's like, bro, what the hell is this? Why are people that are working at Amazon.com answering stuff about the game? I have no idea. I actually did track down some people that worked for Amazon that did the Amazon New World tickets. A lot of them living in very unfortunate countries, and they were paid very, very little. But they basically told me that, some of them, they can't even respond. They are not allowed to type you a message because that is too risky. Whenever they open your ticket, their software scans the words you use, and then it gives them multiple choices for them to tap to reply to you. That's right, tap, not click on. They can't afford mouses, apparently. It's touchscreen. And they tap the response, which they think best serves you, and then they move on. And that's what they do all day. The keywords give them 5 or 10 different choices that they can tap. And yes, they can escalate it. And a lot of times, they do, but they get penalized for it. And they get reprimanded, and it's in their employee evaluation, they get bad points if they escalate too many tickets. So most of the time, they don't bother, right? Because they're just there to try to survive and buy a bag of rice and a bag of beans just like I am. It sucks. You don't get human responses. And yes, there is humans behind the screen doing it. So Amazon will always be like, oh, it is human responses. It is not a human response. It is an automated, pre-congealed, pre-created response that someone is tapping a button on a screen to give you. And so those crafting bugs where you have legendary materials and you craft them and they come out epic, they are never, ever, ever resolved. Not once. They will never resolve this problem. They don't care. They won't refund your items. They can't refund your items. I have talked to so many people. At one point, I was the fourth largest YouTuber for this game, and I talked to a lot of people because I wanted to make this my main game. I thought this game would be the next World of Warcraft with millions of people playing, and it would be popular, years down the line, and I could ride the wave of success and buy a house one day. Nope, that didn't happen. Didn't even get close to happening. But out of all the people I've talked to, no one has ever gotten items refunded from glitches or anything. No one's ever been rolled back. Hacked accounts have never been restored, and it's just awful. It's terrible. It's the worst thing. You will get no support on this game. Secondly, I want to talk about mass reporting. Mass report, and Amazon will always deny this, that all reports are done by humans, and no, they're not. And I've proven this. I used to be in a guild called the Enclave. And yes, at one point, the Enclave used mass reporting against other players. I did not participate in that. But I've also had mass reporting used against me. What happens is when enough players, and bots will do this too, whoever runs the botnets that control the bots, if you're complaining in the open chat about bots, they just report you and silence you. And it's so funny. But enough people in a Discord server, in a company, in a guild, can just mass report you and take you out before a war, before a fight, if they think you're annoying or if you're hoarding all the items and flipping prices against, their wishes. There's a million and one different reasons that people can mass report you for. And yes, if you're like a silent guy and you have like a little group of friends and you don't care about the game, you'll be fine because you'll just fly under the radar. No one knows who you are. You never interact with anyone. But for someone who uses these games as a social platform, I don't have friends in real life. I don't have family in real life. I just play video games, and I like to talk in the video games, sometimes about movies or video games or anime or politics, whatever the hell it is. And so when I have discussions, sometimes discussions get a little heated, and I am a bit of a troll, I will admit. Okay, I'm a lot of a troll, but I can get myself mass reported for simply being a famous YouTuber for this game. Every server I went on, people dreaded seeing my name because they knew the attention that came with it. And I would piss off a lot of guilds, and they would mass report me, and then I would have to sit banned for 1 day, 3 day, 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, muted for 10 days, even though I never said a bad word, I never said harsh language, I never did anything against the terms of service. And when you put in tickets to appeal these, you don't get human responses. You will never have this overturned. As a content creator who has access to content creator discords, I am an official Amazon content creator partner. And they don't care if I make these kinds of videos. But the point is that even if I emailed very special higher-ups at Amazon, even they couldn't do anything because they don't have access to do anything. Even if I waited outside Amazon Game Studios offices and hit up the devs in person, they can't do anything. They can't stop. They have no tools and no power to help you in these situations. So you're just completely screwed. The only time they've helped 2 people. There was a female streamer that milked a cow and got banned because the game master was basically spying on her. It was a guy from India, and he was spying on her, invisible. And she milked a cow, he got offended, he banned her, and they tried to cover this up and say it was a system malfunction or something, but no, what really happened was he was being a creep, and he banned her because she touched a cow and milked it in the game. But they unbanned her after all the top Twitch streamers complained about it. It was a huge news story, and so yeah, someone at Amazon stepped in and fixed that. But for people like me and you, even me, again, like I said, 4th biggest YouTuber when the game was at its peak, nothing could be done. Speaking of content creator stuff, the biggest YouTuber for the game back then was Video Game Databank. He's known as Kibbles now, and he made New World guides and stuff, but he was the most viewed of all content creators. And guess what happened to him? He had one of his videos where he was slightly negative about the game copyright striked. Not copyright claimed, not asked to take down the video. They straight up copyright striked it. And luckily, he and me and a bunch of other people, we all put out videos and talked about it, and we got the news cycle started, and Asmongold stepped in and saved the day, as he generally does with this kind of stuff. So it did get resolved, but Amazon, they tried to sweep it under the rug, and their excuse was that they were trying to copyright strike a gold-selling ad on the video, which wasn't on the video, it was just an ad that played before or after the video. And Video Game Data, I believe he checked, because we can check AdSense and see what kind of ads are running on our videos. There was no Gold Seller ad. There was no Gold Seller ad on the video, so they just completely made that stuff up. They made that up to try to not only, like, as an excuse. Like, that's not an excuse, and that's not how that works. And when you go through the process of copyright striking, it clearly shows you're copyright striking the video, the creator itself, not an advertisement. Like, this is a bogus, stupid argument that they made, and like, you can know, as a content creator, that's a red herring. That's like, avoid this game at all costs thing. That's a look out, don't make content from this. This company doesn't know what the hell they're doing. Avoid, avoid, avoid. And it's just bad business decision after bad business decision. Let's also talk about the astroturfing a bit. This is the main one I wanted to talk about here. The game feels good different, and this comment popped up all over the place before it started getting memed to death. But essentially, there was a bunch of just random accounts that showed up on Reddit and the forums that had this phrase that the game feels good different. You know, the game, it really feels good different. And yes, that's obviously a translation error. Obviously, it's a cultural, verbal error. But it's pretty funny that and a lot of these posts were massively upvoted too. It's really funny how it works. But they astroturf their forums, their subreddit, and all of this stuff. I'm sure what's going to happen to this video is they're going to buy ads and then show it to a demographic that doesn't watch or care about New World to drive down impressions, because that's what Amazon does. That's what they will do. Please take it from me, someone that devoted over 200-something videos to this game, do not play New World. Do not buy New World. Do not buy into the New World hype. Do not feel excited for this expansion. Do not pay for this expansion. Just boycott it. Don't purchase it. Don't even install the game. It is not worth doing. I also want to mention that every single patch that this game has ever had has introduced more and more bugs, more glitches. It has broken the game more and more. It has made the game run worse and worse. Things do not get better with this game. They only get more and more terrible. Avoid this game. I mean, I should have listened to all the other really big MMO channels that pointed out all of these game-breaking glitches. Yes, they fix things like if you dragged your game window around, you used to be immortal. You could not die when you were just dragging a window around. That means that your health was client-side for some reason. That's so dumb. There's so many things like that still in the game to this day, but the game is so dead in population. The game has lost 99.99% of its population. It is insane how much this game has died, and it's even more insane to think that they're like, hey, paid expansion, give us your money. They're milking the remaining players that still play the game loyally. The like, I don't know, 7,000 people that still play it because the rest are bots. They're trying to milk them of more money. That's insane to me. That's crazy. That's so stupid. That is disgusting behavior. Anyway, that's all I've got. I could keep talking for way longer about all the problems that New World has, like not even touching the gameplay loop, the leveling, the questing, and the grinding and all that. So I don't even need to touch that stuff because most of the players never even got there to experience it anyway. The point is, the only people still playing this game and the only people still enjoying this game, the part that actually matters, besides the gold sellers, of course, are the guilds that control the entire map. They're the only ones still having any fun, and if you're not in their guild, and you're not in their inner circle, and you're not being invited to their, umbral shard farming parties, and you're not, having your maximum, best in slot gear, dumping people with your aimbot hacks in the battleground PvP mode, I forget the name at the time, but if you're not doing any of that, there's no reason to play this game. There's no reason to buy the expansion. Avoid this. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so Benji. Make sure you subscribe for more New World hate videos, and check out my other content too. If you want a better MMORPG to play, I don't know what that is, because it's not Albion, and it's not Palia, but we'll find one day, lads.